Arbinia, and welcome to the John and Sweep Show. Right, I'm been toying with the idea of new things I can do. So, I ain't going to do no Black Country phrases or anything like that, but I am going to do some Black Country jokes. Now, I've got them all written down, and Sweep's going to help me, ain't he? Well, I hope you are. Now, I don't know about you lot, but I used to be able to remember jokes when I was younger, but I can't do it now. And so I have to have them written down, but I just have to write down the gist of it, and then it all comes back to me. But if I cocks it up, then, you know, these videos are totally off the cuff and unscripted, eh? Oh, and yeah, talking of videos, for all the fans of Wayne out there, Wayne actually asked me if he could do a small show of his own. So before we get started, I'm going to let you see a little video that he made. Now, if you likes it, give him a thumbs up and write in the comments, because I ain't getting too many people writing in the comments, so just write in the comments, just say, we wants to see more of Wayne and less of yo. Well, no, I don't mean yo, I means me. At any rate, anyway, I hope you enjoy the Wayne show. Here it is.
Hello, Binya. Welcome to the Wayne show. Now, that yampy bloke and his whammer ain't here at the moment, so they let me do a show. So I'm going to start off by saying, I got up this morning and poured the cat out a bottle of milk. I've no idea how he got in there. What's small, black and yellow and drops things? A bumblebee. What do bees chew? Bumblegum. Well, thanks for listening, folks. This has been the Wayne Show. If you likes it, give me a thumbs up and tell that yampy bloke to give me more time to do my own show. See ya.
I hope you enjoyed the Wayne show. I know there's at least one person out there who's probably rolling the floor laughing at it, but I ain't going to say who that is. It's actually my sister Wendy. I know for a fact her actually loves Wayne and I laughs her head off at him, but any road. Right, now I'm just going to do some Black Country jokes. Now I've got a mixture on it, we have actually. And some of them saft, some ace of saft, you know. So it's a mixture of all tastes. So if you actually mix it to the end, give us a thumbs up. If you don't quite make it to the end, just write in the comments, you was laughing so much you had to leave. Right, it's warm in here today. Got the central heating on. You know, must be multi-millionaires got the central heating on. Right, that's nice. So, any road. Right. Soft jokes, here we go. There's this old woman, and I was talking to a mate over the back fence. And the mate says to her, goes, what's your husband doing these days? He working? He goes, yeah, he ain't working. He says, but he reckons he's a joiner. I says, a joiner? What's that? He says, well, every time somebody goes out for a drink, he joins them. I says, oh, is that right? He says, oh, I says, but now, he says, I really consider him to be a shift worker. I says, how's that then? I says, well, every time I mentions work, he shifts. I says, he wasn't too happy the other night. He says, he come in and sat down. I says, I've got some bad news for you. He says, what's that then? He says, the dinner's spoilt. He goes, how'd that happen? He goes, the fish and chip shop's burnt down. Oh, well, at least you finds them funny. Anyway, there's this Black Country woman, old woman, got a big house, is all on her own, has got a lot of jobs that needs doing. So sticks an advert in the Bugle, handyman wanted. In road, this fella turns up, he says, you advertise for an handyman. I says, oh, I did. He says, well, when you want doing? I says, well, the roof leaks to start with. He says, well, I could go up on the roof. He goes, well, he says, I'll be too good with heights, you know. I says, well, I'll tell you what. He says, the fence needs painting, you know, put some creosote on it. He says, oh, well, he says, I could do that. He says, I could do that. He says, creosote. He says, oh, it interferes with my sinus. He says, oh, it's terrible. He says, I think I'm allergic to it or something. I says, well, my car needs attention. He says, oh, I know good with cars. He says, oh, you know, guys, so I could do that. He says, well, I got a dripping tap in the kitchen. Can you fix that? He goes, nah. He goes, that's plumbing. I could do that. He goes, oh, how about washing the windows? He goes, oh, I could put my hands in water. He says, that they crack and something terrible. I says, oh, I ain't being funny. He says, but what makes you think I'm so handy? He says, well, and he lives round the corner. Was that funny? Maybe it was. You know, you like this one. You like this one. This fella, he ain't feeling too good. He's got a dodgy stomach. He got dodgy bowels. His digestive system's all over the place. And he goes to the doctors and he explains all this to the doctor. And the doctor says, right, he says, I'm going to prescribe you a suppository. And he gives him this prescription. He goes down to the chemist and he gets it. And he's in the pub and he's telling his mate all about it. And he says, I'll tell you, he says, I think it's bloody useless. He says, what do you mean? He says, well, I'll be feeling no better. And his mate says, well, did you follow the instructions right? He says, well, I did, all. He says, I opened it up and there's this great big pill inside. And the instructions said, insert into your back passage. He says, well, our house ain't got a back passage. He says, it's got a porch. So I stuck it in there. He said, for all the good it's done, I might as well have stuck it up my arse. Well, that was funny, was it? That was funny. I'll let you get catched up. Should we wait for him to stop laughing? And there's this bloke, right? He's got a persistent cough. He's a coughing and he's a coughing and he's a coughing and his missus says, yeah, I want to get down the doctor's with that cough, you know. Have him look you over, right? So off he goes down to the doctor's, and when he comes back, his missus says, the doctor gives you anything for it? He says, nah. He says, but he did give me some instructions that I got to follow. I says, well, what's that then? I says, well, he told me to eat some fig biscuits, drink a glass of, now what was it, Epsom salts, and eat half a box of licorice. And I says, is that going to cure your cough? He said, well, I don't think so, but he told me after I've had that lot, I'll be scared to cough. Funny, is it? I guess it is. Anyway, right, for any of you who's squeamish, this one might be a bit near the knuckle. So you better cover your ears, sweet. You shouldn't be hearing this one. It's not that it's really dirty, but it's kind of disgusting. You want to hear it? Oh, at any rate, right, it's there was this old lady in the old folks' home, sitting there in a chair, and one of the care workers comes in. And I goes to the care worker, he goes, do us a favour, will you? He says, what's that, me love? He says, me tights and dropping down. He says, could you pull 'em up for me under me skirt? He says, they're nearly round me ankles. He says, oh, I can do that for you. So he grabs out of these tights, starts pulling up my legs, starts pulling up a skirt, and all of a sudden he takes this step back. He says, oh, good God. He says, he says, my God. He says, oh, I'm sorry, love. He says, I can't do that. He says, the smell is unbearable. I says, oh no. He says, I'm sorry about that, love. He goes, it's me arthritis. He goes, your arthritis? What's that got to do with it? I says, well, you see, I can't bend down and wipe my arse down more. Now you hear me that'll laugh it all, say, oh God, that was all good. Anyhow, there's this there's this woman is waiting for her husband to come back from work, and he walks in, grabs him and says, "Oi, I want a word with you." He says, "What's up?" He says, "You better get upstairs and have a word with your son." He says, "When you mean?" He says, "Well, he's upstairs in his bedroom. He's playing with himself. He says, you better go and have a word with him about that." He said, "All right then." So he goes upstairs and he knocks on the door and he walks into the bedroom and he says, "Your mother's asked me to have a word with you." He says, "Look, son," he says, "if you don't stop doing that, you're gonna go blind." And the kid says, "Dad, I'm over here." Is that funny? Anyway, he's a soft, and the women are like this. There's this bloke, he's sitting down in the living room, he's watching the telly. All of a sudden, he can hear this tap, tap, tap sound. And so, what the hell is that again? Tap, 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 tap. And it don't go away. What the hell is that? Anyway, he gets up to investigate, and he's coming from the front door, and he can hear this tap, tap, tap sound. He opens the door, looks around, can't see anything. Shuts the door again. And here, once again, he hit tap, 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 tap. What the hell's that? So he opens the door again. He hears this little voice. He goes, "I'm down here." So he looks down. He goes, "There's a snail right there on the doorstep." And he says, "What do you want?" And the snail says, "I'm really hungry." He says, "You couldn't spare me some food, could you?" And the bloke looks, he says, "Get out of here." And he kicks this snail, he kicks him right down to the bottom of the garden. And he rode. Fortnight later, once again, he's sitting in the house, hear this tap, 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 at the door. He goes to the door, opens the door again, looks down, the snail's there. He goes, "What'd you do that for?" I think the women are like that. I've never met a woman yet who they like that joke. It's soft, but it's funny. Right, this bloke goes down the pub and he's talking to his mate. He says, "Yo, no," he says, "my missus," he says, "is a right dirty cow it is." He goes, "How's that then?" He says, "Yo, no," he says, "I got up at 3 o'clock this morning to have a piss in the sink. It was full of dirty washing up." Oh, and there's this bloke, he goes out down the pub. Well, he's heading for the pub, and before he gets there, he runs into one of his old girlfriends from years and years ago, and they start having a chat, like, one thing leads to another. He says, "Oh, why don't you come back to my place? We'll open up a bottle of wine, we'll chat about old times." So they drinks this wine, one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, they're in bed together. So he wakes up the next day in a blind panic. Everything comes back to him. He says, "Oh my God," he says, "I've been out all night. My missus is going to absolutely kill me." He says, "I'm going to be in so much trouble. It's going to be catastrophe." And he says, "Look," he says, "calm down." He says, "If you does what I tells you, everything will be fine." He says, "What do you mean?" And I hands him a piece of chalk. He says, "Stick that behind your ear." Stick it behind your ear. It says, "Go home, look your missus in the eye, and tell her the truth, everything. And I guarantee I won't believe a word you says." So he looks a bit confused, like, what have I got to lose? So anyhow, he gets home, sticks this piece of chalk behind his ear, walks in, there's his missus standing there with a rolling pin. He goes, "You ain't baking at this hour, am you, love?" And I was here, "Where the bloody hell have you been all night?" He says, "Well," he says, "I'm going to tell you the truth." He says, "I was heading down to the pub." And he says, "I ran into one of my old girlfriends and invited me back to her place. We got drunk and had sex all night." And I looks at him and goes, "You bloody liar. You've been down the pub all night playing darts with your mates, are you?" Well, anyhow, I'm going to do, I think I'll just do one more joke for you. Right. Now there's this couple, black country couple. And they've been going out for quite some time. Anyhow, her wants to get married, he don't want to get married. So anyhow, it goes on and on and on, and ends up getting pregnant, and he still don't want to marry her. And Rhoda has the kid, and he still don't want to marry her. So he says, right, I've had enough of this. I says, so I take him to court, and the judge rules in her favour, and the judge says to him, he goes, yo, I've got to pay maintenance to that babby, 100 quid a week, until he's 16 years old. Anyhow, the years are rolling on, the kid's getting bigger and bigger. You know, the kid gets to a certain age, so the mother stops collecting the money, sends the kids round to his house to collect it. And this is going on till one day it's the kid's 16th birthday. And he goes round for the money, and he's a standing there with his 100 quid. And he says, well, son, he says, this is the last 100 quid you're having out of me. And he says, I'm 16 years old, and I ain't your dad anymore. So he takes the money, and he goes back up to his mother. And his mother says, what's he say? He says, well, he gave me 100 quid. He says, it's my 16th birthday, and he told me that he ain't me dad anymore. I says, well, you better march right back down there and tell him he never was. Oh, well, I think that's wrapping it up for the jokes. He's good at it. Well, before we go on, I'm going to just talk about, he says, remember years ago when you used to hear folks talk about the good old days? Oh, remember the good old days, it ain't like today, the good old days. When you'd get that story about when I was young, you know, I was on your 5 shilling a week, and on a Saturday night, you could go out and you could go to the pictures and you can buy some fags and some beer and a slap-up meal and a tram ride home, and it's on you, and you go out with a shilling and you come back with 2 pence change, you know. Just imagine what it'll be like in 50 years when you're telling them about 2023. Now, I think it might sound something like this. You'll be saying, oh, he says, when I was lad, he says, things was a lot different then. Things was much cheaper. He says, I'll tell you. He says, I could ring up a taxi. He'd come and pick you up. He'd drive you all the way over to Birmingham. You could go to one of them fancy theatres, see a top quality show. You could come out, get into a taxi, and it would be waiting for you with the engine running. He'd take you out to a nightclub. You could go in the nightclub, have a bunch of drinks, come out, that taxi's still waiting for you with engine running. The taxi then take you out to an all-night Indian restaurant. You'd have a slap-up curry, and it'd take you home, and I tell you, you still had 20 quid change out of 1,200 quid. Now you try telling them that. Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. If you have enjoyed this video, just give us a thumbs up.